Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I am just in here trying to recreate something that I made earlier. And I know that I'm not going to be able to create the design, but I'm hoping that I could at least create the same colors. So we're going to just do a quick kaleidoscope cane. Not quite sure what it's going to look like yet. The colors that I'm using are going to be navy, blue, brown, orange, and a red. So for the navy blue, I'm going to create a log. I'm just squishing it over and over and over because I've got some air bubbles in the center. Okay, and then I'm going to take some white and I'm going to do the white in number 2. I'm going to wrap it up. This might not be long enough. Yeah, it's not. Let me grab a bigger strip of that. All right, I don't want to condition it too much today because it's pretty hot out here. And my clay has been really soft today. Okay, so we're going to wrap it in white. Wrap it in blue again. And I think the blue I'm going to do it at 0. I'm going to see what it looks like when I get it out here. I want the blue to be more than any of the other colors, so that's why I kept this at a 0. That should be good. And then I'm going to do another wrap of white. I'm going to go ahead and stretch this out a little longer. Hopefully this is long enough. Maybe not. It has been one of those days. I am puppy sitting. Not puppy sitting, I am dog sitting for my kids. And the dog is normally outside. And I have every piece of furniture I own in the living room covered in blankets. So that if he pees, and pee all over the couch, and he's already peed on the blanket, so I'm thankful that I put down the blankets, but not really happy that he's peed. And I have the mind to throw him outside, but again, it is over 100 degrees, and all my other dogs are indoor dogs, so I didn't want to be a meanie. I don't quite know how to break them of that habit. I have them for 10 days. So it's going to be an interesting 10 days. Okay, so we did the black, or the blue, the white, the blue, the white. We're just going to cover it with a brown. And I think the brown is going to be... I'm going to make the brown into number 1. Hopefully this will fit it. Okay, so looks like we got it. everything's just really soft, so bear with me. It's like half of the country is in rainstorms and half of the country is in heat. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to make a Skinner blend with this brown and white. And I'm going to get some pomegranate out for this, and then I'll come right back. Alright, so we have our canes all ready to go. That's our blue, white, and black, or brown. Took our orange and white, brown and white, and red and white. Just simple, very easy things to do. I'm not going all crazy. I'm trying to find the pillow bead. Oh, here we go. So I made these pillow beads with the black and white tutorial that I did last week. And they got really boring. I mean, it kind of looked like this. This is real thick though. And it just looked boring like that. It just looked like it wasn't complete. So I add ropes. And I kind of pushed them down in there. And I put the ropes on before I baked it. But that's what we ended up coming up with. This one still needs to be sanded. It's got sanding stuff on it, which is why they're not really bright. But I really like that. And I could see this with sterling in between for a bracelet or something. So I really wanted to make this cane again. Unfortunately, my problem is I don't record everything I do. And I need to start doing that, because if I want to remake something and I don't have enough cane, then I'll know how I did it. When I do my flowers, I always do big cane. When I do my kaleidoscope, I don't do big squares like this. I do smaller ones, I think a little bit bigger than this, because I figure I'm using so many elements, it's going to be a huge cane. And unfortunately, it never is. So that's the problem I have. So this, it may look huge, but it's going to end up being real small by the time I'm done. So the only thing I'm going to do with this orange is I'm going to line it up with some black and white. An air bubble in there. So if you're starting to make canes, I would record yourself. Just use your phone and just record what you're doing. And it also helps where you know where you messed up. But it should be fun. Making canes should not be stressful. So if you're starting to stress over it, then take a break. This is just fun, and it's just creativity, and it's throwing colors here and throwing colors there and seeing what you come up with. Everybody's got a different technique. Every technique is pretty much good, and it's pretty easy to make cane once you kind of figure out how the clay moves. And the reason I say that is because being a glass worker, once you learn how the glass moves and how gravity pulls to the center and, you know, the stuff that it does, then you start learning how to work with it and how to keep it from pretty much drooping on you. And I think the next tutorial I'll be doing will probably be glass, because I do have a show in August. And I have taken such a long break from glass that I don't have too many beads left in stock. I think I sold them all at the last show, so I really need to get on making some glass beads. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's going to be, I don't know, like 108, 109 tomorrow. So even with the air conditioning on in the house, you know, you've got a kiln that's 950 degrees, and then you got a torch that's about, you know, a couple thousand degrees or whatever. It makes for a not real fun day. Alright, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet. I don't even know how I'm going to set this up. So we're just going to at least reduce it. Maybe get 3 or 4 cuts out of it, I think. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. So I don't even know. I mean, I didn't have but one orange piece on here. It's mostly red and blue, so not quite sure how I did it. And I know it's not going to be anywhere near it because of the fact that you won't repeat it if you don't know what you did. And we'll see how many times we change our mind today. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we do 6, that'll give me 4 pieces. So we're going to grab that now, and we're just going to kind of stretch it like this. Okay, and I'll cut a little bit off the end. Orange is just so bright. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to use orange this time, but I love orange and blue. Okay, and I got to get me a better blade. These are Thomas blades. It's Thomas Scientific. They are sharp. I do cut myself every time I use them when they're brand new, because when they're dull, obviously you're not as careful, and then when I pull out a new one, I don't realize that, hey, it's new, and I end up getting a slice somewhere. Okay, yeah, the clay's really soft, so I got 4 of those. So this is brown and white, and it's a little smaller than all the rest. So on this one, I'm probably only going to do 3, maybe even 2. Now, somebody commented that it needs to be symmetrical, and if it's not, then it won't look right. But when you think about it, everything's going to be symmetrical when they're attached to each other. So you can make 3, but in reality you'll have 6 when you attach it. So I'm not worried about that. Okay, so now we have those. Yeah, I should have went for a pumpkin orange just so it wasn't so bright. And then we're going to do the red. We've got a nice amount of this, so we can probably get 4 out of this. So let me go ahead and reduce these so you don't have to watch, and I will be right back. Okay, so we're back, and this is what we have. And if you look at it, it kind of looks boring. I don't know why it looks boring, but it just looks really boring to me. So kind of thinking this is the fun part, is trying to figure out how to put it together, and yet the hardest part because I don't know how I want it to look. I don't know if I'm going to use all of this cane as well, but I don't want to put I'm looking at all these color choices that I did, and it doesn't look like what I used in my last cane. So that's kind of scaring me here. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're just going to stick the blue in between there. So on this one, we're just going to kind of shape it so that it's stuck to the both sides of the red. So I don't want it sticking out. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to put that like that together. And I mean, we can stop right there. I can put a couple browns right there. So if I did that, I'll put a red, a blue, oof, a brown, a blue, and a red. You know, so you can just leave it just like that, which is probably what I'm going to do. I don't know why. I don't want to put too much orange in it, I guess. Or do I just use it all up like that? I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so basically that was pretty easy. How it's going to look, I don't know. But it's got a couple elements here and there. I could put some black and white in between these two browns. And I do have one already cut up. I have some black and white here. Nah, I'm not going to use that one. Alright, so we're basically just going to stick that one right in between. Okay, we got a nice little triangle to start us out with. So I am going to reduce this to about 3 inches. And we're already at, oh, we got a long way to go. We're about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got it reduced down. And usually I don't worry about the back ends to be straight, because I feel like I waste clay because I have to do it again. Oops. But we're going to go ahead and cut it off. And I'm being very gentle with this because I'm afraid of cutting myself. Okay, so that's what we got. So that's one thing about, you know, when you make this and you just make round like I did, all you get is round. So you could switch it up, you know, and make your canes like a little square, you know, change it up. You can make them triangular, you know, you can do all kinds of stuff with it, but it's all going to be squished anyways. So I don't really worry about that as much. And this one, I squished a little bit too much. So it's going to be off. So I'm going to just make sure I carefully put them back together. Now, if I wanted, that's if you want to, you could take this as a triangle. Well, I try that real quick. Like that. And you can condense it one more time. So that's an option here because these are really big. Let me see. But then I still got to reduce this to about 6 inches. So I'm going to lose a lot of it, and I don't want to go so small that I lose a design. So we're going to think about this really quick. That will double on that. See, now I don't know what the butt end was. I think it was that. I'm always worried that I make mine really, really small. And so I usually just go to 3 inches, I cut it, and then go square, go hexagon. But now I'm doubting myself and wondering if I should go to another 3 inches real quick. But I don't want the design lost, so I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, so it's going to be that side, right? Because that will be, oh, either one of these will be fine. So, I can either do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. You just want to square up your ends as best as you can. Okay. And now we'll see what happens. So I started this way just to get it close to that square. And then I come in here and I do it. And then I will pause this one more time. Okay, well, at least I got a bigger cane, so now I know that I can make a necklace, earrings, and all that with this. Okay, so that's what we got. Again, didn't get the color that I wanted, so I didn't use navy last time. And I think that's probably what's throwing me off to this whole design. It still looks good, but I probably should have used, I don't know what color that I used. It's not an ultramarine blue. That would have been a cobalt. Yeah, it looks like it was probably a cobalt blue. So we may end up having to make one more of these tonight. So let me go ahead and reduce these and I will be right back. Alrighty, so we are now reduced. We're about a little over 7 inches. So we know that we got a cut right there. So we're going to look around. Okay. And then I'm going to go right there. Perfect. I'm just going to do a little more on this side. Okay, well, not impressed with the blue, but I don't hate it. So that's always a good sign. Lost my train of thought there. Okay. Okay, so now the rest of the fun part is trying to figure out how you want to put all this together. So I could either go the blue in the center like that. Well, that's kind of interesting. I'm thinking I like that, and I'm thinking, God, this would have looked so good if I had a turquoise instead of the blue that I used. Even a light blue might have worked really nice. So this is what we're going with. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm lined up really nice on both sides. Okay. Make sure these two are lined up. Okay, that looks a little different. I'm not real happy with that orange, but it could be just because of the way that I cut it. Just want to make sure before I put it all together. There's something about this guy that feels like he's a little too high. Okay, and there we go. So let's reduce this to about, oh, I don't know, just, what are we at? Let's go to at least 2 inches. Or I can get it down to where I want it, which is going to be at a 0.75. So let me go ahead and pause one more time. Alrighty, we are done. So this is our final cane. Ooh, honestly, I really like the way that one turned out. So it wasn't exactly what I wanted, and I didn't like the blue when I started it, but now that it's condensed all together, I really do like that. So I hope you guys too. And again, you know, it just goes to show you that you can, I mean, this is what I started out with, and the blue just threw everything off, but it all seems to come together in the end. So don't give up. Keep trying. Your canes are beautiful. I don't care what you think. Don't be so hard on yourself like I am all the time. Sometimes we don't have to be a perfectionist. I hope you liked it. Have fun. Make some, and I will talk to you later. Bye.